In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a machine that you can turn on and off. What happens when you turn this thing on and off is kind of unique to your game, so I can't really help you with that, but I can at least show you how to make a machine that you can turn on and off. So I have created a project here, and it just has one room called the generator room. And in the generator room, I have put an object called generator. So let's launch the player and see what we get here. Okay, generator room. This is a large room housing various equipment. In the center of the room is a large generator. Cool. So maybe I want to be able to turn on the generator. Turn on generator. I don't follow you, right? Because we haven't done that yet. So let's make functions for turning on and off the generator. There's some snippets to help us with this. So let's go over to the functions tab here. And I'm going to make a function called turn on generator. Turn on the generator. And click add. And there's a snippet for this. So if I right click and find turn something on. Turn something on. There we go. Let's add that. And it's going to ask us which object are we trying to turn on. And let's turn on the generator and click OK. Variable updated. Okay. Would you like to add an item? Would you like a lantern to add the following sentence? Turn on generator to call our turn generator function. Yes. Yes. We're going to do that. So yes. So now if we go to our sentences, you'll see that Lantern added a sentence, turn on generator, and it calls our turn on generator function. It's going to run that code. So let's go look at that code. So what this snippet did was it added a variable for us. It took the name of the object, which was generator, and it made a variable called generator underscore on. And that's storing a 0 or a 1 that indicates whether or not the generator is on. So if we go to our variables, you can see that there's now a variable called generator on. And if I go back here, so when we run this code, we're going to say if the generator on variable is currently 0, which means off, then we're going to set it to 1 because now we're going to turn it on, and we're going to print, you turn on the machine, you flip on the generator, whatever. The generator fires up and starts belching black smoke. You can print whatever you want. If the generator on variable wasn't 0, then the generator is already on. We don't want to turn it on again. So if the generator's off, we're going to do this stuff. And if the generator's on, we're going to do that stuff. Now, you could also change the description of the generator if you want to have it say like the generator is on, but that would work too. So we'll just kind of play it by ear here. Let's go to, let me examine the generator. The generator has a large on-off switch on it. Okay, turn on the generator. Okay, you turn on the machine, or you turn on the generator, right? I could change that text. But maybe I want the description. See, now if I examine the generator again, you can see it still says the generator has a large on-off switch on it. And like it's not indicating whether the generator is on or off. That's what this would do. So now the question is like, do you want it to print out the description and then the on-off status? Or is it just enough to say like the generator is on or the generator is off? So like if I uncomment that line and let's run this again, and I type examine the generator, I get that description about the generator has a large on-off switch on it. Okay, turn on the generator. You turn on the generator. Examine the generator. The generator is on and producing electricity. Okay, why? Because, see, now I get a different description. But, see, now we don't get that mention of the switch there. So, it depends on you whether it's enough to just say whether it's on or off. So now let's make a function for turning off the generator. Turn off generator. So I'm down here. I'm going to type another little function. Click add. And let's right click and find the snippet for turn something off. Boom. What item gets turned? Oh, it says what item gets turned on. Actually, it should get turned off. The generator. Okay. Would you like to add the function turn off generator? Or would you like to add the sentence turn off generator? Yes. Cool. So this is checking that variable. If the generator is on, if the generator is on, this variable is storing a 1. If 1 is equal to 1, well, that's true. So we do the stuff in the curly braces. And so if the generator's on, now we're going to turn it off. So we'll set our variable to 0, print line, print that we turn off this machine, and you can change that as you want. And if you want to change the description of the generator to indicate that it's off, you could do that here. Just uncomment that line and change that text or whatever. So if the generator's on, we're going to turn it off. If the generator's not on, it must already be off. So there we go. If it's on, or if it's off, turn it off. If it's on, turn it off. If it's off, just print it's already off. And let's go look at our sentences. And you can see lantern added, turn off generator. So let's launch our player here. Turn on generator. You turn on the generator. Cool. Turn off the generator. You turn off the generator. Okay, so now those messages, you're going to have to change those to, be whatever it is you need in your game. So rather than like changing the description here to just something one line about the machine is on, the machine is off, let's make another function called examine generator. And in here, what we'll do is we'll make a variable that, or we'll test that variable about the generator being on or off. So I'm going to make an if statement. If tab tab. Oops. If tab tab. Else tab tab. If the generator on variable is set to true, oops, that's the minus sign. No, it is an equal sign. Okay, then I want to print. Okay, so maybe I take that. Oh, you know what? Here's what I can do. I can call the describe function. There's a function called describe, and that's going to print out that object's description. Describe the generator. And then maybe I print a line of, oh, I can put rather than putting this in both places, I'll just put that up front. So we'll print out the generator's description, and then if the generator's on, we'll say the generator is currently on and producing current, electricity. Right, and let's get rid of that. The generator is currently off. All right, so now I've got this function. Now for this function to get run, what I need to do is go to my sentences and build a sentence. So I can say when the verb is examine and the object is the generator, I want to call my examine generator function. So now, in the center of the room is a large generator. Examine the generator. The generator has a large on-off switch on it. The generator is currently off. Interesting. The describe function did not print a carriage return. So let's go change that. Print line. I'm just going to print blank line. There we go. So now let's examine the generator. The generator has a large on-off switch on it. The generator is currently off. So see, it ran our function. It printed out the generator's description, and it printed out a new line. And then it checks the status of that variable and uses it to print out two more lines, or print out another line. And that line is either the generator is currently on and producing electricity, or the generator is currently off. So now what happens in your game if the generator is on? Maybe there's other rooms. Maybe when you turn on the generator, there's parts of your map that you can see in now. The lights go on. So you could change the lit property of those rooms to be a 1. Or you could, if you turn it off, you turn the lit property of those rooms to be a 0. And then you can't see in those rooms. So it really depends on what the purpose of this machine is and how it's described and what you call it. That's really up to your game. But So I can't help you with that bit, but this at least gets you the machine that you can switch on and off, and you can change its description based on its on-off status. So there you go. There's a machine you can turn on and off.